Hello and welcome to Arirang News. It's Tuesday, October 4th, here in Korea. Live from Seoul, I'm Han. Let's start at the National Assembly. The parliamentary audit is back on track this Tuesday after the ruling Saenuri Party ended its boycott and the rival parties agreed to extend the audit session. For more, we have our Ji Myung-gil on the line. Myung-gil, it appears we're finally seeing some movement there.
Yes, that's right. 11 parliamentary committees began the audit this morning with 5 committees held here at Parliament. The main and minor opposition parties are grilling government agencies over sensitive issues such as the Middle and K-Sports foundations, as well as a scandal-ridden presidential secretary for civil affairs, Woo Byung-woo. There are serious questions over how the two foundations raised a staggering $65 million between them through donations by private companies. Concerning the senior presidential aide, the parties are expected to trade barbs over whether to call Woo Byung-woo to the audit session. He's under investigation for multiple allegations, including embezzlement and abuse of power. The parties have agreed to push back the audit's closing date from October 15th to the 19th to make up for the loss of time caused by the ruling party's boycott last week over its struggle with National Assembly Speaker Chung Se-kyun. However, bipartisan tensions remain as the ruling party is pushing hard for a legal revision to reinforce the Assembly Speaker's political neutrality, a move the main opposition party deeply opposes. 다음.
Thank you, Myung-gil, for that. Korea's central bank governor says he expects consumer prices to grow 1% this year. The figure is lower than the BOK's previous prediction of 1.1% released in July. Speaking at the parliamentary audit, Lee Ju-yeol said his prediction is based on the ongoing oil price slump and a decline in electricity prices. He also noted it's highly likely that the U.S. Federal Reserve will raise its base rate in December, but said the rate hike will not lead to higher interest rates in Korea. He said the central bank will monitor the markets and economic environment before changing Korea's key rate. President Park Geun-hye's speech on Saturday, marking the 68th anniversary of Armed Forces Day, is garnering a positive reaction from the foreign press. In an editorial, the Wall Street Journal praised the president for her message to the North Korean people, encouraging them to take the path to the south, and also listed ways to make her invitation a reality. Song Ji-sun has more.
북한 주민 여러분들이 희망과 삶을 찾도록 길을 열어 놓을 것입니다. 언제든 대한민국의 자유로운 터전으로 오시기를 바랍니다.
In an editorial on Tuesday, the Wall Street Journal praised President Park's message to the North Korean people as, quote, a better path to regime change in Pyongyang than empty condemnations or unenforced sanctions. The paper said the defections from the North elite class reflect growing internal dissent within the regime and points specifically to the defection in August of its deputy ambassador to the UK, Tae Young-ho, as an example. It also said that more than half of the defectors are now represented by the North middle class.
굶주림과 폭압을 견디다 못한 북한 주민들의 탈북이 급증하고 있고 북한 체제를 뒷받침하던 엘리트 층마저 연이어 탈북을 하고 있으며 북한 군인들의 탈영과 약탈도 빈번하게 발생하고 있습니다.
The journal says that a stream of defectors would weaken the regime economically and give the North Korean people an opportunity to know more about the outside world. But in order to, as the paper says, turn this trickle into a flood, the editorial says it's important to try and get President Park's message through the North Korean people. It also says Seoul will have to convince Beijing, which apparently wants to ensure the North Korean regime's survival, to stop sending defectors back north. The journal also had praise for President Park's decision to close down the inter-Korean Kaesong Industrial Complex, which was ultimately used to fund Pyongyang's weapons development programs, ending the late President Kim Dae-jung's sunshine policy of engagement. The editorial wrapped up by saying the ultimate goal is liberating the North Korean people, saying, quote, let North Koreans vote with their feet for an end to tyranny. Song Ji-sun, Arirang News.
South Korea posted a current account surplus of slightly over $5.5 billion in August, continuing its surplus streak for a record 54th month. The Bank of Korea says the seasonally adjusted surplus was the lowest figure in 4 months, down more than $3 billion from the surplus posted in the same month last year. The central bank attributes the relatively low surplus in August to the slowing increase in the pace of exports. Outbound shipments in August rose 2.6% on year, just topping $40 billion. Imports edged up 0.7% to around $35 billion. The deficit in the service balance, which includes tourism and shipping, narrowed slightly in August from the month before. Korea's southern resort island of Jeju and other areas down south are forecast to come under the indirect effect of Typhoon Chaba in the coming hours. Heavy rain is expected to hit those areas this afternoon, and Jeju-do in particular will see up to 400 millimeters of rain and winds of up to 30 meters per second. Typhoon Chaba will be closest to Jeju-do at around 3 a.m. Wednesday, and weather officials advise people to take the necessary precautions. The indirect influence of the typhoon will also bring strong, gusty winds to Jeju-do and the surrounding areas down south, so be careful if you have to drive. And that does it for now. I'll be back with more headlines at 4 p.m. Korea time. See you then.